I've got 3 jobs. I work in a primary school teaching IT. I work at production at church. I also work as a photographer. Started coming to King's Church when I was at university in 1999, so it'll be 20 years now. It blew my mind a little bit when I first came to the church because I didn't come from a church like that at all. You know, I remember people shouting out in tongues and, you know, raising hands, and it was all new to me then. I gave before I was married a little bit, but I'm the one who was more cavalier with my finances. I would turn up on a Sunday and be like, oh, I've got 20 quid in my pocket, I'll give 20 quid. Or I've got 10p in my pocket today, I'll give 10p. It wasn't until we were married though that we kind of sat down and actually kind of reassessed everything. We've always given. We've always decided that it needed to be the first thing that we did, the first thing that happened with our finances. We knew that they were so precious, we just didn't have loads of funds, and we're just like, if the money doesn't go out straight away, you know, we're not going to have enough to end the month. We don't ever have moments where we freak out about giving because we give it first. We have moments where we freak out about whether we can get through the month, you know, and then we come to God, but we never question the giving. We're approaching Christmas a few years ago, and I lost my job through redundancy. Sally's work came to an end, and that was within 2 weeks of each other. Yeah, that was a really kind of testing time. And it's funny because I'd like to say in some ways we were worried and anxious during that time, and we were to a certain degree, but there was just an overarching peace over it, that we just knew that God was in control, that all things would work to His good, and that's not always to our good, and we were kind of at peace about that. You know, it might be that we would end up losing the house, but we knew that God was for us and He would look after us through it all. One of the ways that we survived through that month was on 2 separate occasions, just envelopes of money just dropped in through our letterbox. So last year we needed work done to our house, which was getting close to the tens of thousands of pounds. And we used up all of our savings, any money that we had, we kind of pulled it together to pay for this work that needed to be done. And then our boiler broke. We didn't know how we were going to pay for it. And then the day that the scaffolding went up to do the work around our house, then we got a tax rebate for exactly the amount of money that we were short of. We had a bad car year last year. We had 2 cars. One that my parents had given to us and one that my sister had given to us. In the middle of the night, someone just drove into one of our cars and completely wrote it off. And then about 6 weeks later, then the clutch completely went on our other car. We couldn't afford it. We essentially went from having 2 cars to having no cars, and then people generously lent us 1 car and then paid for another one. The thing is, I look at these stories and I think they're admittedly the big ones that I'm like, yeah, they are good, but I don't often go back to them. For me, it's when I can walk through the house and I approach our lounge where the sofas were given to us, or the hi-fi was given to us, or go through to the dining room where the table and chairs were given to us, or go upstairs where our bed was given to us and our chest of drawers and our cupboard was given to us, and I go into the kids' room where my daughter's bed was given to us, or my son's room where my son's bed was given to us. I've never heard a story of someone who's given too much, and that's definitely been the case with us. God's constantly just pouring out provision to us. God's provision, God's grace on my life is why I named my daughter Grace.